All right, all right. Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so this is going to be a bonus general message. I start these ones out with some anecdote about my dog. See if it sets a tone for the storytelling. So last night, so my dog has a very precise schedule that he likes to keep, and he doesn't like it to be changed. He wants to go night at a certain time. 10 to 10:30 is his bedtime. And when it gets beyond that, he turns into a bit of a gremlin, like a cranky baby. And so last night it was just funny. I was exhausted too, but he was doing his, he does this little like mouth open and like wiggle, and he pushes his nose underneath my kneecap to lift my leg up as I'm sitting there. I was sitting, talking to somebody, and he was like, he does this little grunt sound, and then he comes over and he noses my leg up like, stand up, mom, and take Aries to bed. And it's a really funny little thing because he, his night room is where he wants to go. And so it was just very cute, very funny. And somebody was just laughing at me going, is he seriously telling you to put him to bed? And I'm like, yeah, like my baby is very precise. So we have to the moon and back. Maybe this is, I know I adore my dog. I think that his little quirky traits are very sweet and very funny to me. And I have I don't know, honestly, things like that tickle me, and I love him even more. So maybe this is all about, I love you to the moon and back, or maybe this is someone is observing somebody who has a love like that or a bond like that, or maybe they want to have a bond like that. Maybe somebody is realizing that they are falling in love with a character, and it's like, I see that you have a loving bond. I want a loving bond like that, or I'm creating a loving bond like that. I mean, all I can say is there's quirky behavior that sometimes makes us realize, oh my God, it's so uniquely you, and it's one of those things I love about you. So that's how we're going to start this, because I don't know that, to the moon and back. I don't know that saying without it being referencing typically, I love you to the moon and back. And, so I'm going to say that this is going to be very much about love. It's going to be, and we have the two little birds, one on her shoulder, one on her hand. I keep feeling though, like somebody is falling in love with somebody like at a distance, because moon and back, the distance here, and she's sitting up on the moon. This is somebody who could be far away from them, whomever has realized that they are in love with her. She may be at a distance from them. She may be someone who's otherwise engaged. She's thinking about other things. She's listening to her guides. Her guides are telling her different, one's on her shoulder, one's on her fingertip. There's something that is coming into her mind, but I almost feel, because she's not looking at us, I feel like we've got two characters in this. One is recognizing that they are in love with her, like helplessly and hopelessly in love with her, no matter how far away she is. And then she, in the meantime, is busy paying attention to something else entirely different. So I want to ask, we've got two mysteries to solve here. First off, what are her guides telling her? Let's talk about the character that we actually physically see, even though we're kind of like in the position of, the reason I'm insisting that there's two people that we're going to be talking about here is because this is like we see her from a position of like a voyeur, right? So we're watching her and thinking, love you to the moon and back. You're on the moon. You're so far away from me, but I still see you. I watch you. I'm aware of you, not in a creepy way, but there's some element there. But let's talk just about her. So 5 of Pentacles. So there is a melancholy to her. There is a sorrow to her. There is something here that maybe she has a lot of love to give, but has nobody to bestow it upon. They may be seeing that in her, perhaps, and noticing. In fact, both of these, her face is turned away. Someone could have beautiful brown hair. I always wanted to have brown or black hair. I love it. I think it's so pretty. They could have really long hair too, that they perhaps, keep mostly tidied, mostly, like tugged up or something, in some nice, this is somebody who does a good job with their hair, right? Masculine or feminine. Right now, we just kind of see someone with brown hair, black hair. But we see that they are, whether they're genuinely alone or whether they just feel kind of alone, this person is single. So we're just going to say it that way. She is single, and she has definitely known some kind of sorrow or rejection that has made her feel lonely. Oh, she's a romantic, a creative. Ace of Wands, Four of Pentacles. The thing is, as much as she says that she's open to a new chapter in love, and she maybe even waits for one, she does subconsciously put out a vibe of don't come near me. So she's a bit in conflict. She's alone. She's a little heartbroken or has known some heartbreaks. She wants to have success and love and growth. You notice she had dark hair in all of these cards. But the thing is, she's not genuinely putting herself out there. No wonder she sits on the moon. This is a person who is not dating. We've been getting this a lot, actually, or versions of this, even in the Zodiac stories that I've been putting out. She's not dating anyone. She would like to have a romance. She would like to have someone to build something with, but she's actually reacting in an exact different way. So she notices people maybe once in a while that she goes, that person is attractive to me, but I'm certainly not going to give them any vibe that please come toward me. But I'm aware of them. I can identify them, but I don't give them any sign or signal that I'm interested. So that's why she still sits on the moon. And Knight of Swords, though, is here. She may be aware that I need to change this. I know that I've been doing this. I know I haven't, like flipped on my open for business sign so people would know that they're allowed to come toward me or that I'd be interested in maybe getting to know them or dating them. This is a sudden, maybe I would want to go ahead and communicate with somebody. Or maybe this is someone who's going to suddenly communicate with her. Something's going to shake up her life all of a sudden. It's cutting through the clouds of her mind. I think it's her going to suddenly take action. Maybe this is somebody who's going to suddenly say, fine, I'll put up an online dating profile just so I can get in the habit of communicating back and forth with people. She's open to doing something all of a sudden, but I think it's her taking action. What is the action that she's suddenly going to take? Page of Cups. Yeah, she is willing to have some kind of a conversation with a very specific type of a person. Now, she's a great listener. Whoever this character is, she would be open to getting to know someone. The only thing here is that her method to getting to maybe get herself out of this funk and maybe back into the world of dating is she goes, you know what I want? I want to really get to know somebody first. And that means I want to let them show me who they are. So I'm going to be a very attentive listener. I'm going to give them space to really tell me whatever it is that they want to about themselves. I'm not going to judge anybody, but I really want to build a rapport with a character where before there's romance or anything, I really want to feel safe with somebody, which means I need to get to know them. So I need to give them a space to actually tell me who they are. So I think she's very mindful in her approach of how if she's going to let somebody into her life, she wants to make sure that it's the right person. And so she's picturing what is the best way to connect with someone. Well, it's to give them the space maybe to talk to me a little bit. Now, I don't know that she's super forthcoming with her own self, though. Death card. I wonder if this is a character who is changing the way they've been doing things in their entire life. Maybe she's saying, I feel like I've always been a little too transparent, and then I was an easy mark for people that would manipulate or want something from me. Maybe I've always been more giving, and that's something that I needed to change within myself. What I have learned is that I feel like she's been bamboozled a time or two by people who wanted something from her. Him, her, it doesn't matter. I don't read for genders, but I'm going to keep saying her because that's what obviously we've got on this card is her. She's recognized that I want to do things differently. I don't want to assume somebody is a certain way and give them, imagine that they have all these other wonderful attributes. I want to really get to know someone slowly, and I don't want to jump into romance. I don't want somebody to sweep me off my feet by love bombing me. I am the one who gets to control the situation by simply controlling the flow of things by behaving differently. It's a new version of me. I feel like she is a very sensitive, loving, warm person who would be an amazing partner. But the last thing on earth that she wants is another rodeo, you know, where it's just like, man, this only lasted not even a full 7 seconds and it's already over. You know, it was just wild and intense, but then it didn't turn into anything long term. And I walk away with a, you know, a broken something, you know, in this case, a broken heart. You know, if you get bucked off a horse, it's a very good chance you're going to have a broken something. But in this case, it was her heart that would get broken. And I just feel like she kind of stopped giving to anybody for a while, not because she doesn't have a lot to give or didn't want to, but because only so many disappointments before somebody goes, okay, I really would like things to turn out differently. Okay, how can I manage my own self to try to have success? And I feel like she's been thinking about this. She's been thinking about, how could I behave differently to maybe have more success? So she kind of removed herself from everyone for a while and has just been very contemplative, I think, listening to her guides. Let me just ask, let's go ahead and specifically say what her guides told her. She has 2 guides, so we need to get 2 messages. Let's go with this deck. Mountain, clarity. Yeah, she did need the time to pull her energy back and kind of like put things on hold for a minute, so that the idea of emotions and relationships didn't feel like such a huge obstacle. It's sometimes it's like we get to the top of a big obstacle and then we need to rest and catch our breath. And that's what she did. You notice we're at the peak of a mountain here. Her guides are saying, listen, you have gone through it. You've had disappointments, but you came through those. And here you are with so much knowledge now. So pause here, take a little rest, and contemplate, what did you learn from those unpleasant relationships? Okay. Now what's her other guide telling her? Because she has 2, right? I'm guessing that's the one on her shoulder saying, sit still and relax. Light, sun. The other guide, probably the one that was the bird on her fingertip, is the one saying, and you know what comes after night? Daytime. You know what's going to happen again. You're going to take flight again. Sunlight is coming. Enjoy the sunrise, but also enjoy, you know, this peaceful time that you've had. Yes, but I think it's about time that you acknowledge you've learned lessons, and now let yourself like wake back up to this idea, this concept of love and romance, of, you know, camaraderie, of, you know, obviously we have 2 people here. It's also saying, you don't really think you're the only one who's gone through something like this, right? I mean, I feel like her guides are very like blunt and down to earth with stuff, which is awesome, right? Because guidance has to be kind of like maybe the blunt truth a little bit. And maybe that sounds a little bit insensitive, but it is true. You really think you're the only one who's been hurt in love? Come on. There's lots of people out there just like you. So that means there's lots of people as sensitive and you know, wanting a solid relationship and a serious relationship just like you do. Then, of course, there's also those ones that look at relationships as like, oh man, this is such a fun rodeo. Can't wait to you know, ride this through and then you know, go to the next fair circuit or the next rodeo circuit. You know, yes, there are those people too, but there are also equally as many people out there that are in the same vibe that you're in. So don't get disheartened, give yourself the break when you need it, but then get back out there, because there are other people just like you, and you're going to have happiness and you're going to have something that matches you. So I like that. Those guides are very like, bam, they're very realistic. Okay. So now let's turn our attention to whomever the person is who's been observing her, because like I said in the beginning, we've got a voyeur, and I say that simply because we have seen her from a distance, seen what she's kind of contemplating, known that she's not noticed whomever is watching her yet. And this to the moon and back energy, somebody's already fallen in love with her from a distance, who has had no contact with her whatsoever from what I can tell. Tell me about that person. Tell me about that person. Oh, darn it. I should have gone with a different deck first. Okay, so we have a Queen of Pentacles. Hold on. Could be an Earth energy. Doesn't have to be. But as I was doing that, I was like, no, I want to go with a Moon deck. Hold on. All right, here we go. Flip it and reverse it. We've got a Knight of Swords. So it could very well be someone who is kind of chomping at the bit. Like as soon as she kind of turns her attention and notices me, I'm going to step up and say something to her. But I can bide my time. I have to bide my time. This could be somebody in their divine feminine energy. This could be same-sex couples, reverse gender roles, doesn't matter. This could be a masculine, just as easy. But the bottom line is they're in a gravitational energy. They themselves have some kind of experience with the moon and back also. Like, I've been there too and come back to earth. I've been out there on my own, distant from everyone, healing, nursing a wounded heart. And guess what? When you plant your feet back on terra firma, when you're ready, that's when you can get busy, like, you know, connecting with people again. And when you come back to terra firma with more information, because you've given yourself the time to be isolated for a little bit, to contemplate things, now you've got more knowledge to pull from. Now you've got a greater sense of, oh yeah, I do know what I want to communicate to someone. I do know what I'd like to maybe how I want things to go differently this time. This person, it says, I am bold and confident. I charge forward. Sorry, it's really small print. I charge forward with my ideas and plans. That's the energy of this person, that Knight of Swords. Now, we have earth energy, and then we also have air energy there. Doesn't matter if it's one or the other. It's mostly, to me, it's somebody who is got an element of calm and stability to them, combined with, when I see an opportunity, I will go after it. So they're watching her. How did they see her? How did they meet her? How do they notice her? Oh, the Hermit. They noticed her loneliness. Virgo energy on that. They saw her out there in the middle of the desert. I don't know if they saw her literally while she was sitting someplace completely alone outside, someplace where there was nobody else. Maybe they see her do something repetitiously. Maybe there's a park bench that she sits on a lunch break. Maybe there's a somewhere that she goes and it's just her. And they spotted her off in the distance, and they kind of already, I wonder if they're a fairly romantic person also. Six of Voices. Look at this. They've envisioned, they know exactly what she's doing. They said, I spotted this person sitting out there alone, and I already know what she's doing. She is getting ready to flick that old memory off her fingertips, and I need to give her space to do that. I recognize that. She is out there on her own, going through her process of releasing something, and I don't want to interrupt her process. But boy, the day that I notice her walk past me and give me a smile. Maybe she walks past some building every day on her way to wherever she's going to go and sit and do this contemplative energy. This could be somebody who actually like literally takes a meditation class or something. This could be somebody that notices her repetitiously, and she just hasn't seen them yet. But they don't want to break her silence or bother her because they know exactly where she's at. She is releasing something, and they know better than to get in the way of that. Ace of Emotions. So interesting though, because the more they get to know about her, the more they see her from that distance, the more they understand elements of her. And she has no idea that anybody even has noticed her. They understand elements of her. They've already fallen in love with her. They know that it's like they know, you're one of my kind. So in excess, what did we get? We got a couple of muses. We've got the Four of Materials. So we've got Muse of Inspiration. We've got Muse of Materials. So that's like Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. So they are in a place where they want to get things started as soon as possible, but they are holding back and being very patient. Their passion is growing for her already. Their interest is growing for her already. They keep identifying things that say, any day now, I'm going to be able to reach out to her. Any day now, I can sense that the time is coming. Tell me a little bit more. When will they reach out? When will they make themselves known? High Priestess, they're like, when I can tell that it's the right time and not before then. Nine of Swords, they're worried about missing this, the Lovers and the Moon. Hold on, we're going to go to a part 2 on this one because we're just getting to the juicy bits here. We'll pick up with these cards right then and there. If I don't stop now, I won't be able to get this to come out today. So I'll see you guys in part 2. Thanks for giving this a thumbs up and subscribing. The link for part 2, the free link, will be right there in the description box. I'll see you there. Bye.